Let me just sort out my stuff. Hang on. Yo! That's better. Hey everybody, how are you doing? Where's my chat? Here we are. Hi, are you Rusty today? Hi, Carsten. Hi, M Series. Hi, Unit Division. Hi, Noeth Energy. Trance Happy, the Ferg. Alan. Yeah, it'll be a bit late now, babes, but I'll have it there for next week. Nick Forbes. Everyone else, welcome on in. Hang on. How is everybody? I'll call you Rusty then. I will call you Rusty if you want me to. Everyone's alive. Yay! That's something to be positive about, isn't it? Yeah? Not dead yet. Woo! Not exactly living the dream, just living. Just living. Live and let live. Live, live, love. Live life, love, life. You know. Yeah, dreams come later. Oh, I've not done very well with my makeup. Do you know, I did my makeup earlier. And then I picked up the kids from school, took them to the hairdressers, and then I got back into bed, which was mistake number 1. I was in bed and I fell asleep with my phone. Like, I was like this in bed, and I had my phone like that, and I was watching more of the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial, and I fell asleep to it. I find it really soothing to go to sleep to that, and it's really bad because it's not good to be listening to stuff about intimate partner violence when you're going to sleep. And I should know this as a mental health ambassador, yet I found it really like soothing, like, oh. So I fell asleep, and then I knew I was asleep, and I was like, you need to get up because you haven't set any alarms. And I was like, oh yeah, but I don't want to. Everyone will understand. And no, they won't. Like, you need to get up. People can't just know that you decided to go to sleep. And I was like, oh, okay, sausages. And I'm like, oh. You know when you're in that lovely bit of sleep where, like, sausages are just correct, you know, that's the right thing to think of. It was like that. And then I woke up because I was hungry. And now here we are. So there you go. That's my story. That was the first mistake I made today, was going for a little snooze. Because now my brain's going to go, oh, I'm not really tired now, so let's wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I've got the school run tomorrow. Whose sausage? I don't know. Just sausages. It could have been anything. I don't know if you have this, but I have it where when I am just about to drop off to sleep, you're in that lovely, it's not the REM, but can't remember the name of it now. But it's really nice. I love being in that bit where you're just on the precipice, on the event horizon of sleep. That's where I want to live my life. Pre-sleep. There you go. Right, okay. First up today, we have got... Now, this will wake you up. Okay, this one's the first one that we're going to listen to. It will wake you up. So watch your bass bins, I'm telling you. This is Switch It Up by Third Wav.
I've been in the game too long. I've been in the game too long. I can see you wanna take the road now. Put your lips. I've been in the game too long. Anything you did, I already did before. If I didn't do it, then it's something that I'm on. I can see you wanna take the role now, wanna take the role now. I've been in the game too long. Anything you did, I already did before. If I didn't do it, then it's something that I'm on. I can see you wanna take the role now, wanna take the role now. Wanna take the role now. Wanna take the role now, wanna take the role now. Wanna take the role now. Wanna take the role now, wanna take the role now. I've been in the game too long, long. I've been in the game too long. Anything you did, I already did before. If I didn't do it, then it's something that I'm on. 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 I can see you wanna take the role now. I've been in the game too long, yeah. Wanna take the role now, wanna take the role now. Wanna take the role now, wanna take the role now. I've been in the game too. Switch.
Oh, okay. Third WAV. That's Cavendish, Cav, who I've known for a while. Very, very good producer. He's worked with Joey Riot, did stuff for Joey. And he's also, same as me, he's done a like a HND in music production. Knows his stuff. Ultimately, you know, with all of that, like, even like with the fact that we're both doing these, you know, courses in music production, they're still kind of nothing. They're kind of worthless without having the experience of making your own music. And that's where Cav is now. Cav is at the point where he is now doing his own stuff. He's worked with some of the greats, taken it on board, very much like what I do when I work with other people. Namely, the ones in the chat right now. We've got M Series, we've got Kid Dynamo, and you pick up a lot of stuff along the way, and that's where I see Cav is at now with this third WAV. Again, hi Kelly. Are you enjoying the new emotes? Again, it's not a genre that I am massively aware of in terms of the production side of things, but I do play a bit of this. I call it gabba. Now, I don't know if that's the complete right word for it. There might be like a subgenre of it that it's called. Now, the one major thing that is different with this stuff than with the usual hardcore stuff is the use of multiple kicks, which I absolutely love. I really do. I don't think I don't call it hard style. Like, hard style for me is slower. But I don't know, because obviously it's not something that Raw style. There we go. Keza said it's raw style. Hang on a second. Can I help you? What's the matter? What's happened? Hang on. I've got a crying child. One sec. You okay? What's happened? What's Sasha doing?
So, Dad asked us to show pictures of our hair.
Yeah.
So she sent them it, and then he asked why we still got our faces out. And she said, because I've got a full face of makeup on, and I'm going to get in really trouble now.
Why are you going to get in trouble?
Because you don't like me having a full face of makeup on when I don't.
Pardon?
Because you don't like me having a full face of makeup on.
Who doesn't?
My dad. And that's his story.
Alright. Listen, look, it's my rules here because you haven't done anything wrong, okay? Listen, I'll make sure you don't get in any trouble, alright? I promise you, alright? So don't worry about it, okay? Right? Come on. I'll sort this out. You're allowed to wear makeup here. Is he on about just for like when you're on social media? Hi, sorry about that. Where were we? Yeah, kids are okay. It's about makeup. It was about makeup. Yeah, they're fine. I think one of them was winding the other one up because they've done some. They did a TikTok or something, and one of them's wearing makeup, and the other one said that they were going to get in trouble with one of the parents, not me. And I said no, they weren't. It's fine. But yeah, one of us is more stricter than the other. Let's just put it that way. But no, she's fine. I've said that she's okay to experiment with makeup, so I'm not really sure what's going on there, but I will probably find out in a bit. Yeah, you know, it's like they're 11 now, but it's different to when we were 11. Like I think I was just about starting to wear makeup when I was 11, but we didn't have all the kind of makeup that we have now. We didn't have tutorials. We didn't really have social media, so it wasn't really such a thing. So I'm quite relaxed when it comes to them wearing makeup and stuff. So, but yeah, they're fine. Guy's sorting it out now. Oh, I thought the cat had got out or something because she was like, I was like, what's the matter? Oh, but yeah, it's important with kids that you have to get onto their level with things because, you know, their issues are like their entire world. It's very different to when we're growing up. So, yeah, exactly. But it's a little bit of self-expression. So, guys have it. A guy with, do you know, I have actually seen Guy with some makeup on and he does look quite sweet. He looks a bit like Johnny Depp with a bit of guy liner on. But yeah, they're fine, guys. Okay, so as I was saying with Cav, with this style of genre of music, it's so raw style. That sounds right to me. And the one thing I do like about this, and one thing I've seen uniform in this style, has been the different kicks that come in at different points. Hi, Bosky. So I really liked it. I don't have anything to add on the production side of things because I don't know the genre that well. But I enjoyed listening to it. I did. Yeah, exactly. The kicks are really cool, aren't they? So yeah, that is Switch It Up by Third Wav. Next up, we have got a Dean Richardson remix of Fran Dunn, That Farley track. So that is Dean Richardson's remix of Fran Done That Farley track. Now, to mirror the sentiment that M Series put there about it's very 2002 sounding, yeah, like it reminded me of like the Edison Factor kind of like squelches. I feel like this is something that Hard House has been missing in later years. So I love this nod back to that era of Hard House. Like it's the traditional feel of it, you know, it's the way that worked. And you know, I love that with Hard House it's very different to other genres of music, whereas, well, I don't know, I mean, I see other genres doing this as well. Like you can have a genre that can just progress and change and warp into something that it so different to what it originally was. But I'd see with Hard House as being one of those genres where it can quite happily come back into itself, you know, and you know, just not even like the progression of the genre, the progression of the artist. They have the ability to do like one style of Hard House, like a groovy thing or something that's more energy based, more thrap, you know, and then, you know, go back into something that's more, you know, nostalgic. Yeah. Hi, Red Queen Rhonda. I can never say your name properly. Hard, but not nasty hard. Yes, exactly. It's and the remix that you've done here, like I've seen that you've said in the chat, it's very much going towards the harder side instead of the piano side, but you've kept all of the melodic elements in here and it works really well. Dean says Edison Factor and James Lawson is my favourite producers. There you go. Well, that's absolutely what I got from this track, was those influences coming through very, very prominently. You should be very pleased with this, Dean. Again, I've seen your production take, you know, it come through leaps and bounds within the last year or so, maybe 2 years now that you've been sending me stuff. So, yeah, hard work really does pay off. Hello, Ishuka. Poggers. So, yeah, it could be straight out of 2002, and that is a good thing. So, nice one, mate. I really, really enjoyed listening to that, and I will be enjoying playing it as well. So, thank you. So, next up, we have got a new M Series track following along our Hard House theme. But, of course, for those of you who are producers and haven't sent anything in yet, we don't just play Hard House on here. And we don't just play music that has been finished like these ones are at the moment. We will play stuff that, you know, you guys are wanting to have help with. There's a few in tonight that are not near the standard that these ones are at, but these have been finished, mixed down well, mastered probably in some cases. So we mustn't compare where any of us are at to these. We should always just compare and be in competition with the music that we've made ourselves in the past. That's the only way that should, you know, that should be a thing, because otherwise it's not a very good measuring stick if you're measuring off someone else's stick, as we all know. Richie B. So if you haven't ever sent anything in and you'd like to, whatever genre it is, here's all of the details here. Send it to amberdpromo@gmail.com. Make sure you head the email demo drop. Send a WAV or an MP3 or a SoundCloud link. Please don't send a WeTransfer link, because they do expire a lot of the time before I get to them. Because I have such a backlog of emails now, what I've decided to do is I choose half from like the first 50 emails that I'm getting, and then I'm also choosing half of the tracks that I'm playing tonight's show or whichever night show from the backlog, just so we've got, you know, a mixture of people that have sent in stuff recently and also a mixture of people that sent in stuff maybe like a month ago. So we're all getting a bit of a chance. But yeah, please make sure you send it in. Okay, so M series, and this is called Jane Doe. Wow. Wow, wow, we were. That was M Series and Jane Doe. I love that, Rennie. That was exactly how I would do a track. Yeah, me too. Me too. Yeah, absolutely perfect that. It is up there with Plus One and Medusa. Yeah, the sidechaining thing, Nikita, I think that it's intentional to have that amount of sidechaining to push it, because it adds to the bounce of the track. That style of sidechaining has been massively prominent in tech house music, where M Series is originally from. So, but yeah, that could be a personal preference. For me, I also think on a technical aspect, production-wise, you do need to use sidechaining quite a lot in order to allow space for your other elements to come through. Because if you didn't put any sidechaining on those elements, what would happen there is the kick would not sound as thumpy, the bass wouldn't be cutting through. Rennie says I just use change. So it's not just a personal reason why you'd use it. It's actually a practical element to that as well. So the good thing, the way to test that, what I've just said, is when you make a track, try doing your whether it's a bus group or if it's just from your piano's mixing channel, try it with and try it without sidechaining, and then you will hear the difference and you'll begin to realize that is exactly what you do need in order for everything else to come through. You got to think about music as being like all of the elements that we've got in a track as being frequency bands, because it is. You got to think about them all as of having their own spaces. So if you, for example, all of those pianos are taking up the same space as some of the vocals, they will be taking up some of the space of bits of the kick, believe it or not, on like the tail end of it, and also of course the percussion and that kind of thing. So by pushing it down on the areas where the kick's coming through, because the most important part of this is the kick, in terms of like what is the driving force, what is the loudest element, so that's going to be the kick and the bass. So if that's drowned out by the pianos, or even the reverb coming off, or the delay coming from those pianos, it will start to make everything sound muddy, and that mix down did not sound muddy at all. Yeah, exactly. Sidechain is probably one of the things that is used most frequently in dance music to varying degrees. If you don't use sidechain, then it's probably because you've learned how to shape your sounds yourself as well. But yeah, it's a really interesting topic though. And honestly, the only way, don't take my word for it, the only way that you'll know what's right for your productions is just by A/Bing it yourself, just trying it with and trying it without. So, I mean, you could get around not needing to have sidechain with, especially with like the reverb and things like that, by working out your reverb times for the BPM and your delay times by the BPM of the track that you're making. Hi. Or the door is no sidechain. Yeah, sidechain has not always been around. I mean, there's the old school method where you would use a ghost kick, a muted kick, and that's sometimes a better way of doing it, instead of using a VST sidechain plugin, which is basically just a volume envelope or a filter envelope, whatever it is that you want to call it. There's a lot of ways of doing it. Yeah, exactly what MC was just said. Sidechain is literally just a volume automation. Back in the day, years ago, I mean, this is compression. Compression and limiting is basically volume automation believe it or not. That's all that it is. So years ago, what would happen is the person who was mixing down the track would do something which is called ride the fader, especially on vocals. And riding the fader would mean literally pulling the volume up and down based upon how loud or quiet the singer was singing. Kid Dynamo says, that's what I have to do, kick from the MC303 in the back of the compressor. Oh, for your side chaining. That's cool. It's so cool, isn't it? There's so many ways of doing it. And, you get varying results with stuff as well. I mean, I love all these, things like Nicky Romero, Kickstart, LFO Tool, Duck. They all do the same thing. But the problem I find, what happens is when we get to the point where we're using kick rolls, or you might change, and you want all of the kicks to be defined. If you're using an LFO tool,
This is not over yet.
or thank you for following, mate, or if you're using any of those plugins, which are basically just a volume envelope over one bar, or a crotchet quaver, a fourth of a bar, a beat, a beat. What happens when you get to your double beats? If you use a kick, a muted kick, sidechain to a ghost channel, exactly. Then what will happen is it will. Yeah, exactly. We were just talking about it before. So what will happen then, you see, is it will activate that sidechain to the ghost, to the muted kick, instead of it being assigned just to every single beat, because when you get to the half beats, it will just cut it off. Hi, Timber. So it really is a use for the older ways to do it. There really is a use to not just using a sidechain plugin and learning how to do it the old school way. Cable Guy Shaper Box 2, yes. It's lovely, isn't it, that one? Ah, thank you, M Series. There'll be a way, Dr. Drew Clute, definitely. Yeah, do you know, the one that I found most user-friendly is probably the Shaper Box one. I really do. I think LFO Tool is the UE, the GUI is really shit. It's really hard to see what you're doing on it as well. Hi, Carl Pierce. Let me know in the comments, in the chat, what your favourite sidechain plugin is while I stick the next tune on. Okay, so next up we've got Loyalty, and this is called Running Back to You.
Midnight sky lit up.
So that was Loyalty, Running Back to You. A couple of things that were standing out to me there was, and this is not a bad thing at all, because it does add to the expression. It wasn't keeping to a structured 8, 16, 32 bar arrangement. But sometimes that can be okay. The only time maybe that can present itself with being annoying at the most would be if you're a DJ and as a DJ you're trying to mix out of a track. Otherwise, if it's for like an album or just to be listened to, then it actually makes sense that you would not always have it as structured as it is for dance music, 4 to the floor. So that is just my DJ self coming out. So Nikita mentioned there about an effect on the like the pitch bends being quite a big sound with this EDM stuff in Europe at the moment. I didn't know that. That's cool. Yeah, that the pitch bendy thing, and using the vowels, I guess, as well as kind of like in a syncopated way as like a melody by chopping up the vocals. I mean, that's been around for a while. I think there's a lot of trance music that uses that as well. But yeah, it's good that you noted that. Can we listen to the piano again? Yeah, sure, if you want to. I like the piano on that. Let's go back to it. Where is it? I think there was piano at the beginning as well, wasn't there? One sec. Yum. That's quite reminiscent of your pianos as well. M series. I like the beginning pianos more than I like the bit there. That could be the melody. I don't know if these have been used by using samples of pianos, or if this has been played and then processed. Okay. So M series said this is where sidechain would transform it. Yes. Yeah, I agree, because right now it feels like it's fighting for space, doesn't it, in the back? I mean, what a lovely track, though. Listen, it's just placed on top. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I do agree. And that's something that, like, you've obviously picked up on because of your experience with pianos. And yeah, I think it's a great track. Like, it's obviously, commercially going to do well. I've left the SoundCloud for Loyalty in the chat there, so go and have a look at that. Happy to help if they want to message. If yeah, cool. So Loyalty, if you are in here or if you're watching this back, M Series is happy to help you, or advise what he means when he's talking about the pianos, and that's basically what we're all here for, isn't it? So, but yeah, the other thing I was going to mention was, I can't remember now. What was I going to say? Let me just have another listen to it. I remember what I was going to say now. Okay, so there was also some extreme panning left and right on some of the instruments and some of the effects. That's going to sound fine if you're listening on Spotify, I guess, and, you know, those kind of settings. But if this was in a nightclub, I think what would end up happening, because it was extreme panning as well. We had some stuff just in the left and some stuff just in the right, or mainly in the left and the right. That won't translate well into a club system. Now, bearing in mind, I'm just saying that because I'm old and I'm an old school hard house DJ, stroke producer, and all of my tracks are made specifically to either be printed. What is the word for vinyl? Not printed onto vinyl. What is the word for it? Pressed onto vinyl. So we have it drummed into our heads about bass and kicks. Everything very low needs to be in mono, because literally, if it's not, the needle would literally jump off the record. So it's very, very deeply instilled in us DJs. Excuse me. Not to use a lot of panning, especially on lower frequency sounds, because literally, if you did do that and you press something to vinyl with stereo panned low frequency sounds, such as in the bass and the kick, it won't work. It would literally carved with a knife into vinyl. Stop it. It would literally throw the needle off the record because of the vibrations. It doesn't work. So for me, having stuff panned that wildly, I get quite worried about it. But in terms of it being played for Spotify, listened to online in the modern day world, I don't think it would be a problem. And do you know what? It's quite nice hearing spatially different stuff. You know, like, it's quite nice to be like, oh, that's over there and that's over there. You know, and I see technology moving forward even more so now. I think with iPhones now, there is a thing where you can put your headphones in and then you can leave your phone in a corner of the room, and it will sound like, it will have the spatial awareness. It's like 3D sound, and it will know where the phone is. So you can move your head around and it will always sound like the music or the sound is coming from a certain part of the room, which I think is really cool. Yes, Electa Rouge, you are completely right there. There could be a club mix without the panning. And I think that's the point to where we're coming out now, is that we are coming to a point where people are making tunes for different situations. So you get people make tracks that are going to be listened to on a phone, so they're mixed down differently, and then ones that are going to be used in a club, that kind of thing. Drew Clute says there are vinyls out there with bass doing that without any problems. Bass doing what? Being stereo? I highly doubt it. If you can find me an example of that, that would be really interesting. Don't you move, damn it. Chewy, thank you very much for following, mate. Again, I am happy to be proven wrong. I don't have any investment in that comment about about things needing to be in mono, but I'm very, 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 very sure that if you had something in stereo and it is a bass sound like a kick or a bass line, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. But if you can find me an example, I'll quite happily have a look at that, because I'd like to know if there's a way around it, because that would open up a lot of doors. Hello, DJ Brisk. How are you doing? Everyone say hello to Daddy Brisk. Thank you, Carl. I won't be able to get to the email today, Carl, because we've got all the tracks in for today, but I will make sure I look at it for next week. So next up, we've got Isaac Trap Kid next. Now, you guys might remember he did a track, I think it's like dance hall. So cool, his music, and he's got a new one and it's called Summertime, and it's so lovely. I really love this tune. So let's have a listen to it.
Hey, put your hands up, girl, it's enough from my time. Bring all your friends for another time. Everybody in the club wanna feel okay. Better bend down, girl, you better whine. Hey, hey, it's on a summertime. With another friend, with another girl, with another friend, with another girl. It's on a summertime. Everybody wanna keep on sipping on the drink. Everybody wanna keep on flexing on the floor. Shorty's on my table like any other day. Take a liquor, take a drink, take a snack, nigga. When I'm drunk, this is better on the cold door. I got in on my friends in the party. She go wind up, girl, when you wind up. Take it slow, baby guy, don't just stop it. Put your hands up, girl, it's enough summertime. Bring all your friends for another time. Everybody in the club wanna feel okay. Better bend down, girl, you better whine. Hey, hey, it's on a summertime. With another friend, with another girl, with another friend, with another girl. It's on a summertime. Bring all your friends to the party. At the night, baby girl, we go crazy. Everybody just loves to be flexing. Yeah, to be flexing. Girl, for the party to be rocking. Girl, you must whine, bend, and I hold on our shoulders. Hey, just spin on the air, girl. It's another time, girl, for the summertime. Take a selfie, I go post it on my IG. With the girls on the beach, we go swimming. I be looking on your back when I take a motorboat. Chasing from the back for another motorboat. Spinning on the ocean, I be splashing on her face. When the sun goes down, I go take it to the Benz. Hey, when I wake up without money, I report to the bank, nigga. Put your hands up, girl, it's enough for my time. Bring all your friends for another time. Everybody in the club wanna feel okay. Better bend down, girl, you better whine. Hey, hey, it's on a summertime. With another friend, with another girl, with another friend, with another girl. It's on a summertime. Hey, it's on a summertime. It's on a summertime. It's on a summertime. It's on a summertime.
So there we go. That is Summertime by Isaac Trap Kid. I absolutely love it. So is it trap? It must be trap because it's called Trap Kit. I always knew this as being like dancehall, that kind of thing. Maybe it is trap. Maybe it's dancehall. Whatever it is, I really do like it. I think in the middle bit there was a bit where it seemed like it was a different take of the song, and you might have stepped away from the microphone a little bit. Where is it now?
In the club wanna feel okay. Better brain with another girl. That loves to be flexing. Yeah, to be flexing. Girl.
Hear that bit there? You sound a bit further away from the microphone, so there's not the proximity effect that you had when you were nearer to the mic. A little bit of pitching issues where the auto-tune isn't picking you up.
We go crazy. Everybody just loves to
so that just needs a bit of tidying up. That's the only thing that I can say about this track in terms of what needs sorting out. But I really like it. I really do. So the words, a few of you said that you couldn't understand what it was saying. So some of the words are put your hands up for the summertime. Hang on, let's have another listen and see if I can do all the words. Not all of them, but
hey, put your hands up, girl, it's enough for my time.
Put your hands up, girl, it's summertime.
Bring all your friends for another time.
Bring all your friends for another time.
Everybody in the club wanna feel okay.
Everyone in the club wanna feel okay.
Better bend down, girl, you better whine.
Bida bing bang bang, you better wind. There you go. So, I really like it. Now, you've got to remember that Isaac makes his own lyrics. He's doing all of this himself. Like, is do another line. I really love it. I think he's so talented. I really do. I really do. Like, if any of you have ever tried to write your own lyrics, like, it's really difficult to do that without letting ego get in the way and second guessing yourself or going, oh no, that sounds awful. Like, a really good example as well is someone like Lady Gaga. If you listen to her music, I'm a massive Lady Gaga fan. Not just because of how wonderful she is as a person, but also her songwriting abilities and how she plays on words. So, oh my goodness, M-Series, we need to hear that. M-Series just wrote, I wrote a song called Gary the Wasp. I need to hear it. Like, us as humans, we don't really listen to what is actually really being said, but you can like get, you know, tongue twisters and having mantras and saying the same words in a different way over and over again. Like ra 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 ah ah, rama rama ma ga ga ooh la la, want your bad romance. Like, if I wrote those lyrics down, ra 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 ah ah, rama rama ba, and when I've got a hit here, everyone would just be like, no, you haven't. Like, you need to go to bed, you weirdo. No one would believe me. But it's saying it with, like, with confidence. Rah, 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 ah, ah. You know, like, it's, my point is, it's really difficult to write lyrics and do songwriting. Whole of the board game. Yeah. Exactly. But yeah, I really like this. So thank you very much, Isaac, for letting us have a listen to that. So next up, we have got Joyo Mo Frobo. So again, as I've said to you guys before, some of the tracks that we listen to, people need some help with. So remember that. And let's see what you guys think of this track. I'm pretty sure by memory, Joyo Mo Frobo uses old school techniques to do their music with. So keep that in mind. So here we go. There we go. It's Joyo Mofrobo. Too crazy for you. I like the use of the number 2 and the number 4 and crazy for you. I see what you did there. So yeah, like I said, this is from someone who uses quite old school techniques, which makes it, you know, it's difficult to like judge it on tracks that are made with modern techniques. So like it just goes to show for me that you don't need a lot in order to get a jam down, you know. And there was a good use of filters to introduce sounds and introduce tension and introduce like elevation. And, you know, bringing things in and out. And I think a couple of you said about it sounded very live performance. Yeah, sounded very minimalistic, however, still pretty complicated. Lad needs a filter on the drum track. There you go. That could be something to work with. Yep, definitely. Yeah, like one of the things maybe that is helpful with making this stuff have a bit more ear candy and be a bit more not listenable, because that was listenable, is the use of reverbs and delays. So, and also I think a compressor or a saturator would be really cool, especially on the kick and the heavy and the more heavier the elements, the lower frequency elements that you'd like, that you have in these tracks, just to give it a bit more weightiness. So whatever equipment is being used, running some kind of guitar amp through it, a compressor, get a cool little reverb box, that kind of thing, that would be amazing. Or even you could do that post-production by bouncing down all the stems and simply sticking it in something like FL or Ableton and using the stock plugins available, you know, and then that way it would make it more, it would add more to it and make it more bang up to date. But that's just something that I would want to do. There we go. Drew Clues just said, if this was a live jam, it could have been helpful to use a multi-channel recorder and process it all in a DAW. Absolutely. That is a much better way of saying what I've just said there. So yeah, thank you, Drew Clute. Drew Clute's our resident expert in hardware stuff. Yeah, and I really did like that. I just personally feel if it was my track, I would be doing what Drew Clute's just said there, bouncing it all down individually on the stem as stems and post-processing it. It'd be cheaper as well. And you get to change different things. Well, you are kind of. Drew Clute, we're all learning. And, you know, like, that's the beauty of it, is we all have very different ways of working here, and they're all to be respected. and we can all learn something from each other. I'm learning every day from you guys. I really am. So I probably learn more in these sessions sometimes than I do on my uni course. Hello to Raw Shorks. Thank you very much for following, mate. How are you doing? Richie, that is very good advice. Do not eat yellow snow. Unless you really, really, really want to. And then, of course, do it. Next up, we've got a friend of mine who's not been on the show for a while, Lance. And this is Making Miracles.
Go, go, go.
is Lance and Making Miracles. Now, I really like this, but I think it could be better. So, Drukely, that sounds like more than enough anyway. So, yeah, we were just having a bit of a discussion there in the chat about the top end of the track. So it did sound a little bit like it was a lower bit rate, but it's not. I've just gone in and I've checked. It's been rendered as a WAV, and it is 135 megabytes. I think that's probably about right for a WAV, is it? Let me just do a little comparison. I'll just have another look at another WAV that I've got and see. Yeah. Yeah. So the only other answer would be that the samples that have been used. What's going on with my camera? The only other answer for that, it just sounds a little bit muffled on the top. And it's not on all of the things either. It's only on some of the Hoover sound and the vocal. The percussion sounds fine. So maybe it is a samples thing. So if you've used bad samples, if you've used bad quality samples, then that is maybe what we are experiencing when we're hearing it here. Because it's not on all of the sounds. It's also, if you could see the waveform is clipping, not loads, but it is quite being pushed. So I would like to maybe hear what it sounds like without the limiter on the master and see how it sounds there as well. But sometimes this can happen if we're using samples. Like if Lance has used a Hoover sample here and then used that vocal sample, and they're not very high quality, they can give the illusion of it being lower quality if the other stuff around it is higher quality. So there's something to look out for. But maybe this could even just be fixed just by having a master and bringing out, boosting some of these areas on the high band. If we quickly I'm just going to quickly compare it with like the Farley track by Dean earlier. Let's have a quick listen. Yeah, it definitely sounds a bit duller than the other ones. So that could just be down to the sounds used, or it could just be something to do with the mix down and the limiter settings on there. But you know, it should be a quick fix. So I would say it's worth getting that sorted because I really loved listening to that tune. So yeah, thank you very much, Lance. And again, we are all learning, and sometimes we have listened to a track so many times that we've made that we can't hear it for shit, and we need someone else to. We either need to have a lot of time away from it to listen to it with fresh ears, or we get other people to listen to it and see what they think. Okay, next up we've got John Holland and It's Early Yet. So that was called It's Early Yet, and it's by John Holland. So I really like this. I've left John's SoundCloud link. Guys, please support him. Go and give him a follow. That's what we're all here for, because we know how difficult it is to get people to listen to music, you know, if you're not signed yet or, you know, any of those things. So it's really, really imperative that we all help each other. So go and give him a follow. So John's put in his notes there on this track, a track using a few self-made serum patches. And so, you know, it's obviously someone who understands sound design. I really liked it. I mean, trance is one of the more difficult genres to make as well. So a lot of respect for that. And John's only got 82 followers right now. And this is what really gets my goat a lot of the time, is so many of you are really, really talented. And no one, well, not no one because we're here, but it's really difficult to get people to listen to our music sometimes. So, and he's put, I am back writing EDM after a short 25-year break. I like experimenting with genres, trying new things and having fun. I also write silly songs, so do I, and tunes for my online gaming group. Yay! So there you go. That is John. But yeah, please go and give him a follow. John's my kind of person. Thank you. Yeah, having fun is the most important part. It's hello, drunk mum. How you doing? Oh, this is so cool. I've got all my Final Fantasy lot in here now. They've been helping me with my Final Fantasy streaming. Because I am so hopeless, but I am very passionate about Final Fantasy. So yeah, thank you guys, and welcome to my other channel. Great to see you here, guys. Thank you. So yeah, John, I really did like this track. I thought that it was sounding very cohesive. I love the fact that you've made your own serum sound, the sounds with serum yourself. Thank you, Cairo. And I'd like to hear more, basically. And it's nice to hear that you are back writing music after a 25-year break. And I do hear this all the time. Like I've been DJing and professionally as my full-time job for 21 years now, or 20 years. So, and I do see people coming back and forth and coming back into it. And I'm so happy because ultimately it's not something that you can switch off. It really isn't. You're born an artist. All of us are born artists. All of us are born to be creative. It's just that a lot of us forget that. A lot of us get told a lot of things by people that we listened to, i.e. our parents, our peers. And then life gets in the way and you have to grow up, get a real job, in inverted commas, all of those things that we get told, and we forget about our innate ability to create. And that's what it's about. You know, in my beliefs, you are the universe experiencing itself in a physical form. And the one thing that needs to be done is creating. You don't want to be doing the same thing that has already been done. Number one, that's boring. And number two, there's no growth in that. There's literally no growth in that. You were designed to be here to do things differently. Be a trailblazer, you know? And it doesn't need to be, you know, making an enigma machine. It just needs to be creating something that's made you feel good. Could be anything. You know, we've all got talent. It's just honing that talent with skill. And that just takes time. Exactly. Lance been doing it for 30 years. Drew Clute just makes noise. You do, but you do it in a really unique way. You really do. I can't do what you do. You know? Thank you, Wigface. Cairo, very, very profound thing you've just written there. The only person that can truly hold you back is yourself. Yeah. Like, put one in the chat if you are a procrastinator. Now, the thing I've learned about procrastinating is to always try to procrastinate in the area that you are procrastinating from. There's a really good book, actually, that I've got in my Buddha room next door. And that book is called The Artist's Way. I don't know how many of you have heard of The Artist's Way. Let me just find the... Julia Cameron it's by. Now, she bases this off of... it's very similar to the 12 steps for anyone that's ever had any substance or alcohol addictions, that kind of thing. I went for... God, why is my camera still doing that? I went to rehab years and years ago, and I went to a place in Seville for alcohol, and we learned the 12 steps. As I got older, I realised that I could drink if I wanted to. I just choose not to now. But what I did find, I found it really interesting to do the 12 steps. Drunk Mum Gaming or Training the Art of AANA. Yes, exactly. So if you've ever gone through that and understood that, then The Artist's Way is very, very similar. And that makes sense because the author, Julie, she did the 12 steps. And it's really, really cool. Like it talks about the morning pages, just writing stuff down, like doing a data dump, basically. Not actually like shit, but kind of like getting all the shit out in your head. That kind of a thing. Hang on, I just need to take off my stupid background blur because it's making me look blurry. There we go. You can see all the Y's in the back. Oh no, I've been exposed. No. I'm so messy. It's a creative mess. That's what it is. So yeah, you should have a look at The Artist's Way because it's a really, really good book. Really good book. If you're not a big reader, there might be an audio version that you can try. An audiobook version. Yeah, I think that like a lot of people who are creative are very messy people. Could be messier. Yeah, do you know what? There's one thing I don't like, and that is having knots in my wires. So I don't do that. But yeah, like going back to the whole procrastinating, just try and do something that you can procrastinate in an area that is to do with like with music or art or you know whatever it is that you're into. So for me right now, I have really been enjoying doing my Final Fantasy by just playing on Final Fantasy because although it feels like it could be procrastinating, it allows me to go into a mindset of just not thinking about, you know, the war in the Ukraine and you know, the shit that's kicking off wherever it might be this week on the news. Or I mean, I don't watch TV anyway. I haven't watched normal television for over 10 years. So all we ever do in this house is we listen to YouTube tutorials, TED Talks, self-development stuff, computer games, learning new tech, all of those kinds of things. But, you know, sometimes it can be procrastination, but at least it's procrastinating in an area that we're still interested in. So, yeah, I'm actually on the Final Fantasy X remake at the moment. Perkmeister Funk says, I missed loads of tonight's tunes. Yeah, it will be on my YouTube as it usually is, and then it will also be you'll be able to watch it on Twitch as well for a little bit because I'll republish it after we've finished. But yeah, I just wanted to mention that book to anyone that might, you know, want to try getting out of their own way, basically. It is important. Okay, next up we are going to do... We're going to do DJ 170 Out next which is Graham. Graham's been on the show before. This is Grazer J, so I think this is the pseudonym that he's using. Grazer J. So let's have a little listen to this one. I think this one might be with M Series, actually. I'm not sure.
Your natural state. It's the unspoken truth of humanity that you crave subjugation. The bright lure of freedom diminishes your life's joy in a mad scramble for power. You are made to be ruled.
There we go. That was Grazer J and Neil. I hope the sound wasn't too different to what it should have been, because I didn't realise I had my microphone on. It should be okay because it's kind of protected here. I really, 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 really do like this tune a lot. So Graham, so you took this over to M Series for a bit of help getting the final, what would you call it? Bells and whistles. I can tell 100% that, you know, it's definitely got some of his influence in there in a really good way, and it's also not a million miles away from your production already. It is a really good track. I love the rolling bass line in it. I absolutely love the key change in the second half of the track. Really, really important not to use all of our cards in the first half of a track. Always keep something for a bit later on, just to keep the interest for the listener. So Grazer J says, basically, yeah, I wanted to improve, but it's knowing where to start. That was the aim. Well, the best way to undo some of our own learning and our own belief systems, and this doesn't just go for being a producer, this goes for any discipline that you've got in the arts, is we do get in, like, we get in our own way, and we also get into our own little patterns of the way that we do things, with our workflow, with the instruments that we use, with the VSTs that we use, with the ways that we use plugins. And by going in with somebody whose production you already like and you respect, and getting them to strip it back for you in person, in a project that you've already started, is definitely a really helpful method. A really helpful method, because you can begin to unravel where you might be over processing, where you might be under processing, where you might have got into a belief system of, like, I know people who put limiters on every channel. I know people that put a compressor on every channel before they've even got started. I know people that top and tail with EQ on every channel out of habit. And sometimes it can be those things that added up that can make the sound it can make the end result quite flat. And you won't. There we go. So Grazer J says, yeah, I learned that I was EQing everything to high hell and my bass wasn't working because it wasn't there. Well, what a great realization for you, because you might not have worked that out very quickly, because we don't, because it's multifaceted, isn't it? It's very nuanced. So getting someone to look at it objectively and look at the project objectively is a really good use of your time, by going in, you know, instead of just sending a track over and go like what we do here, which has its space, you know, it has its relevance, but to take it in as the project, so that they can open up all of the individual sounds and see exactly what it is that you're doing through every single part of the processing chain, you know, from the VST from the sample. Because sometimes it can even be as simple as we're using the wrong type of algorithm for our sample. So you might not be using Complex Pro when you should be using it, or if you use FL Studio, you might not be using Stretch, or you are using Stretch, or you're not using, you know, the correct, you know, especially when we come into vocals. I mean, it's quite obvious when it comes to vocals, but you know, you're never ever going to be able to know that unless someone sits down with you who understands the program, the DAW inside out, and can go, right, well, this is not right, and basically troubleshoot and take it back to its to where it is that you might be going wrong, so to speak. And I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy that you worked out for you it was the EQing. Like for me, oh my God, I haven't even told you. I don't even know if I should, but I'm going to, because I can't keep anything from you lot. especially when we're this late on in the show and the only people that are still watching it, like, you get all the secret info, right? Okay, you know, like, I get a lot of my info from my other half, who's a fucking music productional genius. I'm literally living with a music genius here. And I know that, and I do not take that for granted at all. The amazing conversations that we have. Fuck. Okay, there is a really and seriously groundbreaking plugin that we've both been using recently on our music, and I wonder if, hang on, no, it's still the same. Okay, you can't tell anyone about this, okay, but this is really, really come on, brain. No, my brain's gonna forget what it is now, what it's called. Told ya. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on. Oh my God. It's coming. I'm just gonna have to open up FL Studio now. Ring guy, be quicker. It's not sausage fattener, and I do need to tell you about it. I'm just gonna put on FL Studio. If the sound goes weird, I'll sort it out. Hang on. Right, one sec. Ah, there it is. Okay. So, am I still there? Can you still hear me okay? I knew my brain was going to do that. Because I was going, don't forget it, don't forget it, don't forget it. Okay, you can still hear me. Okay, so. And I wonder if anyone else has used it yet. Okay, it's called Smart EQ 3. And it's by Sonable. Okay. I'm going to leave a link for it now in the chat. You can try it free for 30 days. Excuse me. It is ridiculously good. Now, it uses AI to work out where to put. I think I've overplayed the dramatics. I haven't. Honestly, I really haven't. This plugin, it is just stupidly good. So I'll tell you a bit about it. So Smart EQ 3 enhances detail, clarity and transparency in single tracks and in arrangements of up to 6 channels. So not only will it make the best out of the sound that you are asking it to analyze, it will also work and talk to other instances of it on other mixer channels. So it can find, the spaces where it needs to be. Don't take my word for it. Just go and try it out. You get 30 days free with it. So it uses AI filter to automatically correct tonal imbalances. So if anyone's used Pro Q3, when you can hover over it and then it will show you where your frequency, resonant parts are, and you can bring them down. It kind of works along that. It's also dynamic as well. It's honestly, just give it a go and you'll feel like it's cheating, to be quite honest with you. Yeah, FabFilter Pro Q3 does do something similar, but not like this. The problem with Pro Q3 is that you're doing it manually. And it can also, if you overuse doing that, you'll just end up making all of your sounds sound boxy. So when you're doing it with Pro Q3, you want to use it sparingly and only by doing it by like a few dB. Don't like be like taking too much of the sound out. But yeah, honestly, is it available in 16-bit or only 24? Well, I don't use 24. I think I'm 16-bit. Oh no, I might be 24-bit. You need to update your fucking thingy, Kid Dynamo. So supported sample rates is 44.1 to 192. VST, VST3, AU, AAX. 64-bit. It doesn't say 32-bit. So, I don't know in your case, Kid Dynamo, but see, this is a reason why maybe, you know, updating your way of doing stuff. I think you'll be all right. I don't think it will take away your stuff, you know, from you. Shush. Yeah, I can use it sometimes too much, Andy, as well. Hi, Joyo Mofrobo. Oh, thank you, my darling. It was lovely to hear your tune. But yeah, honestly, please go and check out Smart EQ. I'm not going to tell Guy that I've told you because he'd be like, oh, you shouldn't be telling everyone. But you know me, I have to tell you everything. And I'm really excited about it. And I think you guys don't expect it to work like a normal EQ. You will still need to top and tail stuff if you need to. Or, you know, if you're wanting to put something in a specific space, do that with your regular EQ. Use this with that. So what it will do is it analyzes the sound, and then it will listen to that sound, and then it will make the best out of that sound. So there you go. Right, next up. Next up we have got Random Kid, and this is Yesterday.
Saw you again. I knew I wanted you, but I had to hide it. I had to hide it, 'cause I have grown strong without you around. I've just gotta fight it. I don't wanna go back there.
Go. That is Random Kid and Yesterday. And yeah, it is a free download. So that is a link for it. Please go and give Random Kid a follow as well. Show some love. Really, really nice tune. And again, I love the shuffle on that groove to it. The vocal was really nice. It was very emotive. Everything fitted well. Team Brisk! Yay! Yeah, Random Kid, if you're watching this back, I'm not sure if you're in the stream at the moment. I really, really do like this tune. I find it quite difficult to express emotion through my music. I find it easy to do like silly songs and like energetic songs, you know, like in your face kind of stuff. I find it more difficult to express delicate emotions like this, and I really did enjoy listening to it. I love stuff like this. I really do. It reminds me a lot of progressive techno and progressive trance, like the older style stuff. And I really like that kind of stuff. So, hello, Clarko. Yeah, really liked it. Nothing really to add in terms of music production because it sounded great to me. It sounded perfect, to be quite honest with you. So, emotion is the best. So, yeah. Next up, we have got a mate of mine, Louise Dupe, who has got a track called Godzilla. So let's have a listen to this one. Female vocal trance is my shit. Yay! Glad to hear it.
swallow a bottle of alcohol in her. Feel like Godzilla. Better hit the deck like the car dealer. My whole squad's up here walking around the party. A cross between a zombie apocalypse and the Bobby. I can swallow a bottle of alcohol in her. Feel like Godzilla. Better hit the deck like the car dealer. My whole squad's up here walking around the party. A cross between a zombie. You're a monster.
That is Louise Jupe and Godzilla. I really, really do like this tune. So it does sound like Random But Raw has engineered this, but I'm pretty sure Louise said that she's gone in with Gaz West to engineer this track. I could be wrong and it could be a different tune, but it really sounds like Random But Raw to me. Definitely. I play a lot of Rob stuff, Random But Raw. Very clean production. In your face. Eminem rap vocals always sound good over Hard House, in my opinion. So, yeah, I really, really do like it. Really do. Yeah, it's definitely a Rob sounding bass line. I'm going to ask her. I'll speak to her later and I'll find out. But yeah, it's a very traditional hard house tune. I really, really did like it. I'm going to be playing that one in my sets, without a doubt. Without a doubt. So yeah, I've really enjoyed today, guys. It's been fun. Fun, 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 fun. Ha 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 ha. Who should we go and see? Let's have a quick look. I want to send us all to someone I've not sent us all to for a while. Let's go and see DJ Defective. He's fun.
My colleagues
He's more
and I have
fun
been
than
excited
me.
about the results.
I bet he'll be playing some good music as well. So yeah, please give him a follow. I'm gonna have an early night tonight. I've got the school run tomorrow. Boo! But tomorrow's my day off streaming, so I'll be using it probably to play on Final Fantasy. You know what I'm like. I can't have a day off. I'm not doing one more. I'm going to bed. Oh, is Mama Claire on? Hang on, is Mama Claire on? Where is she? Is she on now? Mama Claire, we have to do Mama Claire if she's on. Where is she? Hang on, let me just keep strong. She's on. Okay, guys, please come and see Mama Claire with me. Mama Claire is someone who I really, really believe in as a content creator. Okay, she is. She's part of the trans community. I a long time ago now bought her a laptop so that she could do. I've never met her before. She lives in Toronto, but I believe in her that much. I bought her a laptop so that she can start doing live streams, not just from her phone. She's going to be talking about. She needs more followers and viewers. Definitely, she's going to be famous one day. She really is. I seriously believe in her so much. There's been some sad news recently about a law being passed that trans people can't get support in a certain state in America. So I know that she's got a bee in a bonnet about that right now, and I think it'd be really nice for us to go and show our support to her. So let's go and see her. She's brilliant. She's really, really good fun as well. Like she's not hard work or anything at all. She lives to take the piss out of herself. She takes the piss out of me. She's just amazing. I love her so much. She's so cool. She's my friend and I love her so much. So let's all go and see Mama Claire now. Brilliant. There's 35 of us, 36 of us going over. I'm really, really happy about this. 37, yes. Okay, let's all go and see her. I'm going to be in the chat because I moderate for her as well. So I will see you over there shortly. Love you all, guys. Mwah.